Sonny Gray makes a strong first impression at Cardinals camp and why the Cardinals could be going with a six-man rotation to start the season. This is Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Haffern, and I'm a national radio sports anchor born and raised in the Lou and a lifetime Cardinals fan, and I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Follow me on Twitter X at JD Sports Radio and the podcast at LO_Cardinals. Want to thank those of you who make Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day, free and available wherever you get your podcast. You can also find us on YouTube if you're listening to the audio version of the show right now. Awesome. Great to have you. If you want to see the visual version of the show, head on over to YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment so you can interact with us. Hit the notification button so you know when new episodes are posted. We are creeping closer and closer to 9,000 subscribers. Would love to get to 10 before opening day. We'll see if we can make that happen. But it's up to you. It's up to you to like and subscribe and comment and interact and be a part of the show. That's what we want, because this is a show serving Cardinal Nation and giving the best fans in baseball all the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode being brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. New customers, join today and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. So pitchers and catchers' first official workout was today. The first full squad workout will be on Monday the 19th. And when that happens, we can begin counting down to opening day, which will take place on March 28th in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Yeah, out of all the teams that we have to open up against this year, gonna be against the Dodgers. I'm sure there won't be very much media there for Dodgers opening day whatsoever. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day, by the way. First, did you get your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, did you get them something for Valentine's Day? My wife, shout out to her, got me tickets to go see one of my favorite comedians, Anthony Jeselnik. I know he's dark humor and it isn't for everybody, but she got me some tickets. So love you, sweetie. Thank you so much for those. I decided to paint a new bedroom for her. So, whatever. Anyway, but more importantly for us baseball fans here, happy Pitchers and Catchers Day. It was a beautiful day in Jupiter, and we got to see a lot of the presumed starting rotation throwing off the mound today, as well as the relievers. Here is a photo up on YouTube, courtesy of John Denton at MLB.com. Wilson Contreras talking to newcomer Andrew Kittredge after his session today. And the quote there says that Wilson Contreras chats with newcomer Andrew Kittredge following their bullpen work together. Contreras was complimentary of the movement on Kittredge's knuckle curveball during the session, which is great. We like to hear that. That's good, because we're going to need Kittredge this year. He's going to be a big old piece of that bullpen. Yesterday, new ace Sonny Gray took the bump and made a big impression on everyone in his brief 15-pitch session. Starting catcher Wilson Contreras, who you just saw on the screen, talked about it afterwards, saying, "What I take away from Sonny Gray is his mindset, because that tells me a lot about his game. The way he went through his bullpen was impressive. I'm really excited for what he's going to bring to the table. Like I told Sonny, we have the same attitude in games, and that's going to help us out. We want to beat somebody, and we're not making friends." And we saw that type of fire in Contreras last season. We were able to dub him Villain Willie at times last year, where he was getting under the skin of the other team and wasn't out there to make friends. He was trying to beat his opponent, but rarely did we see that type of passion from anyone else on the field. People showed it from time to time, but it just wasn't there very often, and losing will do that to you. I commented multiple times last year that the team just seemed a little too reserved, a little too laid back. With Newcomer out with multiple injuries throughout the year, we didn't see a lot of guys who showed emotion. Lars was that rah-rah guy who was always, doing his thing with the pepper grinder and everything. Arenado does show some passion on occasion, which is my personal favorite version of Nolan Arenado. I love it when he gets fired up, whether it's for somebody throwing at him or him hitting a home run in a key situation. But Goldie is not that guy. He's a very quiet guy. Gorman is not that guy. Paul DeYoung, who played a lot last year, not that guy. Jordan Walker was a rookie, so we haven't quite seen that just yet. Tommy Edmonds pretty chill. Dylan Carlson seems pretty reserved. So there just wasn't a lot of attitude on the roster and on the field. And I think adding Sonny Gray and Lance Lynn to the equation is going to help unlock some of that for the team. And Gray is ready for the challenge, but he knows that other people are going to have to step up as well. They're there and they're ready to help out. He told John Denton at MLB.com, I accept all responsibility and all the leadership things with open arms, but we also have 4 other guys who have a ton of experience. I'm a vocal guy, and there are other vocal guys on the staff as well. I may lead one day, and then somebody else leads. I would hope guys come to me with questions, and I'll do the same. I'll go to anybody who can make me a better pitcher and ask questions. If you truly want to get better and you truly are in this to win a World Series, it's a constant revolving door of leadership. I view myself as a leader, and I would hope everyone on our staff views themselves that way as well. Well, those other guys that he's talking about on the staff, Miles Michaelis, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, Steven Matz, they were all on the mound today in Jupiter getting their work in. We've got a photo from that, courtesy of friend of the show, Katie Wu from The Athletic, tweeted this out with them in action on the mound today. You can see the gorgeous blue skies in Jupiter, Florida. You can see the not so beautiful grays that they're wearing. I hate the fact that they can't wear their reds like the one I'm wearing right now. If you're on YouTube, I got like the batting practice red jersey on. I love those in the spring training. I hate the fact that they got to go to their nasty gray looking road ones. And I'm not a fan of that. There's no color to it. Anyway, if you haven't heard already, the Cardinals have kind of a tough schedule at the beginning of the season, not only competition-wise, but travel-wise. They're going to start in Los Angeles against the Dodgers for 4 games. That'll end the month of March. Then there's 3 in San Diego to start April, so they're going to play 7 games in 7 days because they're not going to get rained out in Los Angeles. They're not going to get rained out in San Diego. Then they go to the home opener for the next day on April the 4th against Miami, so that's 8 games in 8 days, plus they're switching time zones from the West Coast to the Central. Then they get a day off. Then there's 2 more against the Marlins, followed by 3 at home against the Phillies before their second day off on April 11th. So that's 13 games in 14 days. Some are day games, some are night games. You got the travel. That's going to start the year against some very good teams, too. 3 of the 4 were in the playoffs last year. Oh, and after that day off, their second one, they go back to Arizona to face the NL pennant-winning Diamondbacks for 3 before going to Oakland to face the A's. So if my math is correct, 18 games in 20 days with travel between the West Coast and St. Louis. Kind of exhausting. And many have wondered with such a difficult start to the year whether or not the Cardinals are destined to come out with a slow start again like they did last year and will be continuously trying to make up ground like they did in 2023, which they ultimately failed at. They could never make up enough ground and were never able to get back all of the games they lost in April. So to combat this, the idea of using a 6-man rotation has been brought up. So we're going to discuss that further on Locked On Cardinals. Passion, drive, and patience. That's what brings home the winning trophy. It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and a whole lot more. Whether you're into speed, power, style, maybe all 3. Maybe you're into all 3, and that's fine. You want a 3-tool ride or die. eBay Motors has got you covered with over 122 million parts for your number 1 ride or die. You'll always find exactly what you're looking for. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or you get your money back. All right. That's one of my favorite things. You ever shop anywhere else for anything, whether it's auto parts or clothing or whatever, you get something, it doesn't fit quite right. I'm having a back and forth with my shoes right now. Like, I'm trying to find some new workout shoes, having a hell of a time trying to find the ones that fit properly. eBay has got you covered when it comes to your car with their guaranteed fit, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, It's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. And once again, a big thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. You can leave comments on YouTube as well as on Twitter X anytime you want, because your feedback is always welcome and encouraged. I try to get back to as many of the comments as I can get to. So don't be shy. If you got a feeling about something, good or bad, let us know. So Derek Gould, the fine writer over at STLtoday.com and with the Post-Dispatch, released an article tonight talking about how the Cardinals are considering using a six-man rotation to start the year because of the amount of games right out of the gate that I just explained to you. They're going to do 13 and 14 days, and they're going to do it against some very good competition. And to help alleviate some of the demands and probably the stress that's going to be on the rotation right out of spring training, they're talking about this six-man rotation. Now, in his article, which I'll link in the description and in the show notes, Gould says they've not committed to it. Officials said then they intend to get some feedback from the pitchers who are committed to routines, because we all know you don't want to get any of the pitchers out of whack. World Baseball Classic last year, all right? How many times have we heard that excuse this offseason and how it had such an effect on how the guys who were playing in the World Baseball Classic, which the Cardinals had a ton, how it kind of messed them up a little bit. But as camp began on Wednesday, with the first official workouts for pitchers and catchers, the Cardinals have already geared spring training and prepped a competition for that sixth spot, if that's the direction officials choose to go into the 2024 season. Now, I've mentioned all offseason that outside of the veteran starting five that you already have, you've got former first-round picks Matthew Liberatore and Zach Thompson waiting in the wings for a rotation spot when one of the veterans goes down. Hi, Steven Matz, injury prone, If he were to go down with an injury, one of those two would slide right in. That you've got some pretty good depth there. But they also showed last year that both of them can be quite useful coming out of the bullpen. So what do you do? What do you do with these guys? In a perfect world, you would just pick a lane for them either as a starter or a reliever, instead of yo-yoing them back and forth like they did with Zach Thompson a lot last year, a little bit to Matthew Liberatore, but it was Zach Thompson that really, he was all over the place. He's a reliever. Then he has to get sent down to Memphis and start pitching again as a starter, and then they bring him back up, and then they're making him, like, it was all over the place, and it just seemed like a mess. But either of them seem like nice fits as what we like to call the swing man, right? That you've heard about, that can make that spot start when it's needed, but also be a long reliever for you out of the bullpen. They both seem to fit that profile as well. But if you've got a six-man rotation to start the year, perhaps at least one of them can remain as a full-time starter early on, even with the other five main guys still healthy. That's kind of what we're shooting for here. Gould says that both of them will spend most of spring training on a starter schedule, which would include starts in exhibition games and stretch innings to build arm strength, and that the Cardinals will spend the springs weighing their major league need against their prospects' long-term potential, their development, and most of all, their performance. But he did add that the big league need will sway the decision, which it should. You're not down to win championships at Memphis. That's great if you do. We're trying to win championships at the major league level. So you want your best pitchers up there throwing in whatever capacity they can. You want your best arms on your staff in St. Louis, not at Memphis and not at Springfield. So that's the idea there. In my opinion, in no way, shape, or form is this saying that the Cardinals don't have confidence in the innings eaters, as we've come to know them, that they brought in this offseason. But it's certainly something just to kind of keep an eye on in the early going here. And it's not like you're thinking about starting someone who isn't prepared to start in the majors yet. I mean, remember they started toying with Jordan Hicks becoming a starter last year out of nowhere because they needed somebody to fill a spot, and the injuries were taking their toll on the rotation already. It's not like that. Both Libby and Thompson have proven that they can do it at the major league level. So I really don't see the harm in it as long as the other guys are on board. Again, not trying to alter routines. We're not trying to go through this crap that they went through with the World Baseball Classic last year where they're geared up to be starters and then Michaelis hardly pitches for Team USA and it threw him out of whack. All of that, we don't want to worry about any of that, right? So as long as everybody else is on board, I'm cool with it. If it's going to keep the arms that much more fresh and, keep everybody healthy. I would rather see that happen. So let me know your thoughts on this idea, though, and whether or not you think it's a good or a bad idea for a 6-man rotation just in the early going. Maybe just I don't think it'll go through the entire month of April, but it could. If it's working, I mean, why would you alter it? But, it's all about routine and it's about getting people on a pattern of 5 days of rest or whatever they need at the time. So let me know. Let me know in the comments section down below or on Twitter X at LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio what your thoughts are on that possibility. All right, word is Yadier Molina, maybe a little late getting to camp. I'm going to tell you why next on Locked On Cardinals. Get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150. $150 if your bet wins. What could you do with $150 right now? Me and the wife are going to be moving here in the next couple of weeks. I could use that extra cash on, something cool for the man cave, perhaps a new couch or something. I would love to have that extra money. And you can get it by betting on all your favorite NBA players and teams with quick bets, live same-game parlays, exclusive props, and a whole lot more. I'm starting to become very fond of the Indiana Pacers. I have no idea why. Tyrese Halliburton, I just like him. He was one of my top picks in fantasy basketball this year, and I just kind of dig him. So I've been paying more attention to betting on the Indiana Pacers recently. I need Halliburton to get more healthy, but you can be a part of this for whatever team you're rooting for. We know we got the All-Star break coming up, but make sure you're visiting FanDuel.com/lockedon and shoot your shot. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. The fans, front office, coaches, players, all of them were very much excited about the news that Yadier Molina was returning to the team as an advisor in 2024. Heck, when we were at the winter warm-up, John Mozeliak, when he comes out on the stage for the first time to do his interview, one of the first things he did was ask the crowd, are you guys excited to have Yadi back? Which was followed by kind of a relaxed round of applause. I mean, we were all kind of like, yeah, but are we going to be any good? Like, we were more concerned with that. And I feel like Mo is looking for a little bit more energy from the crowd when he asked that question. But again, it was kind of early in the morning and it was butt-ass cold out too. It was freezing that day. So a lot of us were still just trying to literally warm up as we got inside Ballpark Village. But anyways, we've discussed the possibilities and what Yadi is going to mean to the team in an advisor role this year and how much good he can be for, the catchers, Wilson Contreras and Ivan Herrera, how he's going to be able to help out the pitching staff by being around, keeping an eye on things, seeing what's working, what's not working, ways that they can adjust things, but also be a guy for the everyday players. They can interact with Yadi and learn from him as long as he's around. We were told that it's not going to be something where it's an everyday thing for Yadier Molina. He's not going to be in the dugout. It could happen. He could be in the dugout throughout the season at different times, but it's not going to be something where you expect him to be in there for, a month at a time. Like I wouldn't expect that. I'd say like maybe a homestand or a road trip here and there, perhaps something like that. But it looks like his arrival in spring training is actually going to be put on hold for a little bit. Derek Gould reported that Molina likely won't report until closer to when minor league camp opens, and after he gets some time with family in Puerto Rico following the end of the winter ball season. Now, there were some reports online that Yadi might be managing another team during the winter ball session, and then there were reports that disputed that. I don't know what's true or not. All I know is I trust what Derek Gould puts down, and if he says it's just going to be a couple of weeks later and he's going to visit his family and stuff, and then he'll join them, I'm willing to believe that. Jeff Jones from BND.com tweeted that Mo said that Yadi may not be at camp for a couple of weeks, perhaps coinciding with the opening of minor league camp, and said the team wanted to give him some time given his winter ball schedule. This is not the end of the world. I don't care. This is fine. I don't need Yadi to be there day one holding everybody's hand. It's okay. All right? He'll get there. No need to freak out about this. Yadi isn't expected, as I said, to be around the club every day anyway. So, sure, you want him to be there as much as possible to help guide the pitchers and catchers as much as he can, but all in good time. He doesn't have to be there right now when they're throwing 10-pitch sessions and 15-pitch sessions and taking pop-up practice. It's okay. It's okay. He'll get there. It's not like the Cardinals have a staff of 23-year-olds who don't know what the hell they're doing in spring training and are just cutting their teeth in the big leagues. That's not the case whatsoever. These guys are, dare I say, grizzled veterans. They're all in their mid-30s or older, and they know what they need to do. They know what they got to do to get ready. They're fine. They're going to be okay. He'll get there. He'll get there. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. One pitcher that was not at camp today was newly signed reliever Keenan Middleton. He was not. By the way, he's going to be wearing the Wayne Gretzky number 99 jersey this year. Fun fact, So Taguchi is the only other Cardinal to have ever worn the number 99. Did you know that? Did it from 2002 to 2007. And we love So Taguchi. And I hope we love Keenan Middleton when he does arrive. But he was not there. He's dealing with a stomach virus today and was the only pitcher not in camp for the first official workout. But he's expected to be back with the team within the next couple of days. So don't sweat that either. He's just a little under the weather. You don't want stomach bugs to start getting passed around the clubhouse at the start of spring training. So no worries. And also quickly, I hate drawing attention to these things because I feel like that's what the people who do these things are seeking in the first place. But obviously thoughts and prayers going out to the victims of the shooting today in Kansas City where they were holding their Super Bowl rally. Just tragic stuff, man. Just you get a day of celebration. You're celebrating this amazing accomplishment for the team and for the city and for the fans. And then it just turns to horror because a couple of people. And I just feel awful. I feel awful for the victim. When I first saw it, I thought people were joking. I was like, no way. That's not happening in Kansas City. Lo and behold, it did. So I feel bad for the victims, their families, the community who have to endure this. So it just sucks, man. So just know that we're all thinking about you guys in Kansas City. It's just terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Again, if you haven't already, please give us a follow on Twitter X at LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching daily on YouTube and you're not liking and subscribing and hitting the notification button, why? It's real easy. Just a couple of clicks, man. Do me a solid. It'll help our channel and love for the Cardinals grow. You'll feel good about yourself by doing it. You're the best fans in baseball for a reason, and I'll see you next time on Locked On Cardinals.